Bobby Bones Show now.
Luke Combs.
Here he is. Clap. Good to see you back again, my friend.
Thanks, man.
Hey, look at you. Been a pretty busy last couple weeks for you, huh?
It has, yes. Exhausting.
You got a new record, and you're out touring, and it's CMA week. Like, I don't know that anyone has more on their plate right this second than you.
I don't know. It's a lot, for sure. I would hope nobody has any more on their plate.
But I always feel like you're a grateful guy. Like, regardless of what comes at you, you're always like, man, I'm just happy to be here.
I am definitely happy to just be invited to the country music thing in general.
Yeah,
sure.
but you're not invited anymore. You're kind of dominating. I wonder, because you're so inside of what's been happening. You've been living it, so it's kind of hard to see from the outside.
Yeah.
Do you feel kind of like you own the space now?
Not at all. You know, like you said, I am so in the middle of it that it's kind of like, it's hard to understand sometimes. Like, you know, especially when people are, you know, when like I'm doing an interview and they're like, hey, remember this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't realize that was all in 3 months. Or, you know, it's like everything has happened. So much has happened in such a small amount of time that it's really hard to process.
You know what's crazy is that, because you just picked up a guitar how many years ago?
8 years ago.
You learned how to play guitar 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And how much were you singing, though, before you started playing guitar?
All the time. I sang all the time.
And sang where?
Like school, church, at home. I mean, anywhere I could sing, I was singing.
And then where did you get the guitar? Like, really, where did you get the guitar? Where did it come from?
My parents bought it for me for Christmas, like when I was in like 7th grade. And I think I took one guitar lesson, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that. Because I was kind of one of those like, oh, well, my parents want me to do it, so it's not cool, so I'm not going to do it.
And were you ducked to water with the guitar when you first got it again the second time?
Yeah, I mean, I knew like what a G chord was. Like I didn't know how to play it, but I was like aware of its existence pretty much. Like that was the extent of my knowledge. And so I went and literally pulled that guitar out of my childhood bedroom closet when I was 21. I went home for the summer.
21, which is crazy. Like you grabbed you don't know how to play it.
Yeah.
But you grab it at 21 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just like, because I'd been singing forever, and it was kind of this weird circumstance of like, so when I was 21, I moved back home and worked the job that I like had in high school, which was like this like go-kart track, like climbing wall place kind of thing, which was great to work at in high school, but when you're 21 and everyone else working there is in high school. So that summer, all my friends they all stayed in their college town. And I was the only one of my friends that moved home. So none of my friends were home for the summer, and it was just me and my parents. And so I was working my job, and I had, like, when I wasn't at work, I was just at home, like not doing anything. And so my mom was like, she literally said this because I was, like, moping around the house about, oh, there's nothing to do, and, like, I'm bored. She was like, well, you know, Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw, they didn't learn guitar till they were 21. And I was 21 at the time. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just do that then. And so I literally went in the closet and got it out and taught myself play that summer. Because that was what I did in my free time when I wasn't at work.
Was that when it clicked for you, though, that you could actually have a music career on the level that maybe not you foresaw it at this level you are now, but where you're like, I think I can probably just go out and be a real life artist?
I don't think it was then. I think then it was like, I'd always loved to sing. And then being able to like accompany myself on an instrument was like another excuse to like a socially acceptable excuse to be able to sing. Like you can't just go to a house party and sing because people think you're weird.
You're just the a cappella guy.
Right. And everyone's like, why is that guy singing? But if you have a guitar, they're like, dude, that guy's cool. How cool is that guy with the guitar? And I had seen people do that before, you know. I was like, that's interesting. I always loved performing for people. You know, I always thought that was something that I was into. And because I thought I was, you know, I always thought I was a good singer, you know. And so I had a lot of confidence in that thing. And then adding the guitar into it was just like another level to that. But it wasn't until I played my first show with the guitar that I was like, I can do this. Like, I can make money doing this too.
Luke Combs is here. By the way, we'll get to the new record in a second, but I'm so curious as to how it starts. So where do you go and actually play your first public performance with that guitar? Not so much make money, but who lets you play on a stage first?
I'm trying to think of the first, like, I mean, mostly it was house parties, like my buddy Austin's in there, and I literally played in his basement in Raleigh one time. And, like, they had a house party, and I brought some, like, speakers and played in their basement. And then...
Do you remember the first time you got paid?
The first time I got paid to play was at a bar in Boone called the Parthenon Cafe. It's no longer there. It was a Greek restaurant. But it was also, like, at night it would become like a bar. You know, like during the day it was a restaurant.
You're not just playing over the falafel, right?
And so I actually didn't have an acoustic electric at that time, and my neighbor had one. And he let me borrow his guitar, and someone let me borrow, like, some little PA speakers. And I charged $1 a ticket to play, to come to the show.
That's awesome.
And 200 people showed up at my first show ever. And
who were these 200 people that knew you were good?
Like, I don't know if they knew I was good. Like, they were most of them were probably there for the beer, but I had a lot of friends, you know, so it was in my college town. So all my friends from college came. My rugby teammates, I played rugby in college, and so all my teammates came. There was probably 40 of them. So that was $40 right there.
Were you a good rugby player?
I was.
And
I was.
What's the position you played in rugby? Because I don't know anything about rugby.
It's called prop. So, like, any guy that you see play rugby that's fat plays prop.
Is that like an offensive lineman in American football?
That would be the closest correlation, for sure.
And did you get hurt playing rugby? Because there's no pad. There's just people slamming their bodies into each other.
There's actually way less injuries in rugby because people don't wear pads.
Because they're
a lot more cognizant of, like, I could become injured because I'm not wearing things to protect me from being injured, when in reality, a lot of the football equipment doesn't really protect you from getting injured at all. And it makes you feel like you're a lot safer than you are. But I sprained my shoulder twice, my left shoulder, but that's it. Nothing bad.
Tonight at the CMAs, will you have a speech planned if you do win?
No, I don't think I will. Because then I feel like if I plan it, it's not like genuine and authentic, you know? Like, whatever I'm feeling in that moment, I think is what I want to say, you know? And I do worry sometimes about, you know, not thanking the right people or missing somebody who's really important, you know? But I think people are probably pretty understanding, honestly, of those moments. You know, they're so quick.
Or do you believe in the jinx, though? Is part of it because you don't want to jinx yourself?
I don't think so. You know, I like you said, man, I'm so like lucky to be here that it's like I don't ever expect to win anything. You know, I think, like, if I did win, man, that would be incredible. You know, and I would be the luckiest dude in the world to win. But I don't like to think about it because I think before I started doing this, I was never really, like, good at anything that I tried to do. Like, I was a decent rugby player and I enjoyed that, but I didn't put my entire, like, heart and soul into that, you know? Like, I didn't approach it the way that I should have. And this is the first thing that I found in my life, you know, where I was like, man, I'm really good at this. I enjoy doing it, and people enjoy seeing me doing it. And so when I was growing up, I would always do these things, whether it was a singing thing or a sports thing, and I would always let myself down because I would always think, like, oh, I'm going to achieve this thing. And then I wouldn't achieve it because of my own lack of effort. And so that kind of taught me over the years, like, I don't get myself pumped up about, you know, winning an award or having this big moment, because if I don't pump myself up about it, then I can't be let down by it.
I've been going to therapy for that same reason for years, Luke. For a year. Luke Combs is here, by the way. You know, I was watching your videos on Vine back in the day, because you were on Vine.
Mm-hmm.
And you get on there and you'd post covers, originals, and other funny stuff. You were just a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
But are you on TikTok now? I was watching a TikTok and everybody at Waffle House was singing "Beer Never Broke My Heart," and I love TikTok. Are you checking TikTok at all?
I've not been on it. You know, a lot of people have told me that I should get on there, but I'm not on there.
It's the greatest.
So you're saying I should go for it,
especially because you were a Vine kid.
Is it like Vine though?
It's better. It's longer. There are more editing options. There's better music that you can use. It's in that.
Can I do my own sounds?
Absolutely.
So like I could just go in there and sing them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're saying I need to create. Are we officially?
I think you need to create, because I just remember how good you were on Vine, and that to me was something I was like, oh, I like this guy. Before you kind of were Luke Combs.
Let's officially create.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can get the you'll get your own account, but somebody's probably squatting on your name, so you got to get that back and then go.
What do you think they're going to try to charge me for?
Nothing, because I got mine back.
Nice.
Yeah,
so,
TikTok.
So they're cool about like
TikTok. Hey, TikTok cool.
We're cool.
Yeah, they're
like
TikTok.
us and
TikTok
me
cool.
and
Yeah,
TikTok.
I know. I'm gonna hit him up.
TikTok, and we text.
What's up with you? And have you tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
I tried it yesterday. I did try
the spicy chicken sandwich.
The spicy chicken sandwich. I had it yesterday.
Because I accidentally ordered the one that wasn't spicy like an idiot. I waited for 40 minutes, and then I didn't get the right sandwich.
And then it was still good, though.
It was still pretty good.
But it was like you wanted the sauce.
What did you think?
I liked it. I mean, like, I don't know if I'm going to be, like, going to Popeyes every day. I mean, it looks like I go to Popeyes every day. I would go to Popeyes every day if I thought that was a good choice. I don't think it's a good choice. But I do enjoy Popeyes.
How many, 1 through 10, what do you rate that thing?
I'd give it like an 8.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8.
High.
I mean, it's pretty good.
So, but like, have you had the Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the big comparison. Is it Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
To me, it's a totally different sandwich. Okay. It's totally different thing. Like the bun's totally different. The chicken's totally different. You got the sauce on the Popeyes one. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a big Bojangles guy though.
Oh.
You've never had Bojangles.
Do you have a deal with them?
I do not.
Man, you should. That's right. That's right in the Luke Combs
Scotty
brand.
McCrean had a Bojangles deal. He was
right
like on the bus,
brand.
and he was like, "I'm eating the biscuit before the show." And if I ate a Cajun filet biscuit before the show, I would be asleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they're great. But I would be asleep.
New record's out. Luke Combs is here, and I wonder. You know, when I saw you post a track list, because I follow you on Instagram, watch stories, big fan of you on social media. I saw when you posted that Eric Church is going to be on the record with you. I've since heard the song. The song's called "Does to Me." What's that call? Is there a call? Do you make a call to Eric, or do you? Well, how does that happen?
Well, at the time, like, so long story short, I went to Appalachian State. Eric Church went to Appalachian State. Obviously, we weren't there at the same time. So I got introduced to his music there as he was the guy when I was there that was like, oh, this guy went to school here. And so that's how I got introduced to his music. And so for the longest time after I moved here, I had never met him. Like, and so even up until the first time that we hung out outside, because we had opened some shows for him, but he was very like, you know, in and out. It was like one-off type thing. So he would come in late and go home right after the show. And so we never got a chance to hang out. The first time we hung out was, I think it was probably June or July of this year was the first time that we ever got together and hung out and talked more than just like a passing hello. And so when I had the idea to have him on the album, I didn't know him on a personal level yet. So I did the proper channel. Like I asked my manager to hit up his manager and say, hey, is this something that your client would be interested in doing? And you know, since then, obviously we've hung out and you know, I was there when he sang on it and everything. And so yeah, that was like, it was a very like proper thing.
Would you tell him in the studio? They're like, give me a little more. Let go, like, hee, hee. Can you get up to hee? Like,
No,
raise it up.
My producer did that, so I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
Do you last year? It's funny how a year changes things. Last year's CMA Awards, I just remember this. We presented an award together. It was me, you, Carly Kloss, the model.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She was so tall.
Very tall.
And they made me stand beside her, and I'm 6 foot.
I know, and I'm like, I'm 6 foot, and she was wearing heels, I think.
And
too.
it was Brett Young too. And
Yeah,
you and I are.
He's like 6'5".
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah, me
right
too.
at
And
it.
we look like tiny little fellas.
Yeah, we did. We looked short for sure.
Well, listen, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Love Refrigerator Door. I was looking at what song to you know, I'm gonna play a little bit of Under Us while we talk here. But tell me about the Refrigerator Door. I think this song's good.
Yeah, I just you know, my parents had the classic like, you know, like suburbs refrigerator. You know, it was like the grocery list and the calendar and like the little thing your like real estate agent sends you. I'm not sure how many people have like an intimate, close personal friendship with their real estate agent. Judging by their refrigerators, though, you would think everyone has their real estate agent over for Thanksgiving because they always send, or like the mechanic shop sends you like a coupon booklet. It was just covered. Like our fridge was just covered. And all my friends' parents' refrigerators were the same way. And a couple of years ago, I was just like, I remember having that idea. I was at home, like back at my parents' house. And I was like, someone's had to have written a song about this. But as far as I could tell, nobody had. So I was like, why not me? You know?
Well, your resume is so long considering how little you've been here. It's crazy. It's great to see your success. Newest member of the Grand Ole Opry, first artist to simultaneously top all 5 Billboard country charts for multiple weeks. I mean, I have a whole page of just things you've done. Let me just tell everybody, there's a lot, and it's awesome. At this point, you just got to pick the great rugby player. He was the squatter.
Yes,
what was the position? Stitter?
Prop.
Yeah.
Prop.
Squatter.
Yeah.
Squatter.
Somebody's squatting on your couch.
Yes,
That's what
squatter.
it is.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, so what you see is what you get is the new record from Luke Combs. Well, tonight we'll see you. Do you know what you're wearing tonight?
I do, yeah. I'm wearing a suit, going classic suit. I do like to dress up. I'm not gonna lie. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but when I go to award shows, I like to look classy.
Are you happy right now?
Yeah, man. I'm pumped. Like, things are going so great, and everything's kind of, I'm figuring the schedule out more and more, like becoming more used to, being on the go and figuring out how to make myself feel more at home, being away from home. And so it's been a really interesting, feeling out process. And it's been a couple of years to really figure out. I mean, I'm sure you get it. You're gone all the time. And it's like, how do you get the rest that you need and still feel like you're getting good sleep every night? Like, figuring those things out are the things that I never would have thought about starting out doing this. And those are the things that have made me so much happier than I was, 2-3 years ago when I started out, because it was so crazy. Then once Hurricane came out, it was just like on. Like, it just went and it didn't stop, and it hasn't stopped since. But being able to figure those things out has been really good for me.
I'm going to compliment you as a human here for 1 second because, in our business, things come and go. And you and I had scheduled to do an interview show that's an hour long. And most people can't. Sometimes I have to cancel because I'm moving. Sometimes you had to cancel. And it wasn't that your people called. You called me up and you were like, hey, dude, I'm really sorry about this. This is not like me to do. And I just thought that was, you have to do that. You have to call and actually get on the phone and be like, hey, to do this.
Yeah, I just felt, man, I hate, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and especially, I mean, that was short notice, it was like within an hour of, me supposed to be at your house, and so, I understand that, you sacrificed your time, so I wanted to, I want you to hear from me, man. I didn't want it to be like.
So I gave your number to like 100 people right after that, and I was like, call them up.
Call them up.
Let them know.
Tell them I'm mad at them.
No, I appreciated that. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all the success.
Thank you, man.
And Luke will be back during the St. Jude Radiothon, too. He's going to come back and hang with us there, too. So, all right, well, Luke Combs will let you go. And